Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Life Signal podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're really glad you're here, honestly. It means a lot that you choose to spend this time with us. My name is Denver, and this podcast, as you know, is a space where we really try to talk honestly about life, about purpose, about faith, and crucially, about all those deeply human things that people don't usually say out loud. Those quiet struggles, the internal whispers, that's what we try to bring to light here.
Hi everyone, I'm Lily, and genuinely, thank you for spending any part of your day with us. Whether you're listening in your car on a busy commute, at home doing chores, or maybe, just maybe, in the middle of a quiet moment grabbing a cup of tea, please know you belong here. Your thoughts, your feelings, your questions, they're all welcome.
And I'm Andy. We truly appreciate you tuning in to the Life Signal podcast. Every week we get messages from listeners saying how much these conversations resonate, and that's why we do this. Today's episode is especially close to the heart. I think it's something many of us have quietly grappled with, or maybe are even grappling with right now.
It really is. Our topic today is feeling lost after doing everything right. Just hearing that phrase, it just hits different. If that phrase hits a nerve with you, if it stirs something up inside, please understand you are absolutely, unequivocally not alone in that feeling. It's a very common, yet often unacknowledged experience.
This feeling, more often than not, comes hand in hand with this profound sense of confusion. You look back at your life, at the path you've taken, and you can logically confirm, I followed the rules, I checked all the boxes, I did what I was told to do. And yet, something fundamentally feels off. There's a disconnect that's hard to articulate, even to yourself.
Exactly. You did what you were told would inevitably lead to happiness, right? You studied hard, you got good grades, you were responsible, you chose the safe path, maybe the stable career, the good partner, the house, and then, suddenly, you're looking around at this life you've built, this perfect on paper existence, and you're asking yourself, why do I still feel this deep, persistent emptiness? Why isn't this enough? It's such a disorienting question.
And it's scary, isn't it? Because in that moment of questioning, instead of questioning the system or the advice you were given or even the societal narrative, you immediately turn inward. You start questioning yourself. You think, is there something inherently wrong with me? That I'm not happy with all this?
That's right, Denver. You project that internal discomfort onto your own being. You think, is something wrong with me? Am I ungrateful? Am I just a difficult person who can't be satisfied? And that thought process can be incredibly isolating because everyone around you might be celebrating your achievements and you're just silently crumbling inside.
When really, nothing is wrong with you. You're not broken, you're not ungrateful, you just outgrew the script you were given. That's it. Think about it, we're given this blueprint for life, usually by well-meaning parents, teachers, society at large, and it's designed for a general idea of success. But as individuals, we evolve. Our needs, our desires, our very essence shifts. It's like trying to wear clothes from when you were 5 when you're 35.
That's such a perfect analogy, Andy. We're sold this idea, this very clear narrative that if you just follow these steps, if you do everything right, life will eventually click into place, it will feel right, fulfilling, joyous. It's almost like a delayed gratification promise, isn't it? Just get through this, then you'll be happy.
But no one, and I mean no one, talks about what happens when the reward doesn't actually match the sacrifice. You put in the years, the effort, the sleepless nights, you make the prudent choices. You maybe even give up on some dreams along the way because they weren't practical. And you reach that promised land, and instead of the trumpet blast of joy and satisfaction, there's just silence. Or worse, a quiet, nagging dissatisfaction.
Yeah, you reach the milestone you were aiming for, the degree, the promotion, the marriage, the big house, whatever it is, and instead of the profound sense of accomplishment and joy, there's just silence. An echo of the expectations, but no real emotional resonance. It's incredibly unsettling to achieve something you thought would be the key, only to find it's just another door.
And that's when people feel so much guilt for feeling lost. Because on paper, from the outside, their life looks absolutely fine, or even great. They have the things society says they should want. They might have a good job, a stable income, a loving family, a comfortable home. So to then feel this void, this uncertainty, it makes them feel profoundly ungrateful or like they're somehow failing at life itself, despite succeeding at the conventional metrics.
So they stay quiet. They stuff it down. Because complaining feels so ungrateful. It feels like you're minimizing the blessings you do have. You think, who am I to feel lost when so many people struggle with real hardship? It becomes this internal monologue of self-rebuke, which only deepens the feeling of isolation and misunderstanding.
But being grateful and being lost can absolutely exist at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive. You can be profoundly thankful for the good things in your life, for the people, for the opportunities, and simultaneously feel a deep uncertainty about your direction or your purpose. One doesn't negate the other. It's not a zero-sum game with emotions.
That's a crucial distinction, Andi. And this leads us to something that's really hard to hear sometimes, but it's essential for growth. Doing everything right doesn't always, or even often, mean doing what's right for you. There's a big difference between external validation and internal alignment.
Sometimes it just means you were really, really good at obeying expectations. You were a star student of the societal curriculum. You aced the tests of conformity. You were a pleaser. You were diligent. You were responsible. You followed the map perfectly, but maybe it wasn't your map in the first place.
And obedience without self-awareness eventually leads to burnout, to apathy, and ultimately to that deep feeling of being lost. Because you're constantly expending energy on something that isn't fueling you back. You're building someone else's dream, living someone else's ideal. It's not sustainable, and it's not fulfilling.
You wake up one day, years later, perhaps after hitting multiple milestones, and you look around and realize you built a life you literally don't recognize. Or worse, you recognize it, but it doesn't feel like yours. It's a well-constructed, impressive facade, but inside you feel like a stranger in your own home, in your own skin.
That's when the fundamental question shifts, doesn't it? It moves from the external, from what should I do next to achieve X, Y, or Z, to a much deeper, more internal inquiry. Who am I, really? Apart from all these roles and expectations, who is the real me beneath all the layers of what I was supposed to be? That's where the real work begins, and it can be terrifying.
Absolutely terrifying, but also incredibly liberating. Because here's the thing, feeling lost isn't failure. It's not a sign that you messed up or that you're broken. It's feedback. It's an internal alarm system trying to get your attention.
It truly is. It's your inner voice, your intuition, your soul, whatever you want to call it, finally getting loud enough to say, hey, there's more to you than this. There's a deeper purpose, a different path, a truer expression of who you are waiting to be uncovered. It's not a judgment, it's an invitation.
But most people, when they feel that unsettling sensation, they panic at that feeling instead of actually listening to it. Our natural inclination is to avoid discomfort. We're wired to seek stability and familiarity, even if that familiarity is subtly draining us. So when that feeling of lostness arises, it triggers an innate fear response.
Yeah, they distract themselves. They stay busy, endlessly scrolling, overworking, over-socializing, just to avoid sitting with that discomfort. They numb it with consumerism, with endless entertainment, with anything that keeps that quiet whisper from becoming a scream. But the signal is still there, just buried under all the noise.
Exactly. They treat it like a problem to be solved or suppressed rather than a message to be decoded. But the truth is that lost feeling is often the very beginning of alignment, not the end. It's the universe, or your inner self, hitting the reset button, giving you a chance to reevaluate, to recenter, to truly come home to yourself.
So when you find yourself in this space, when you're feeling lost even after doing everything right, the first step isn't to suddenly change everything about your life. That can be overwhelming and counterproductive. The first step, the most courageous step, is simply getting honest with yourself. It's a quiet, internal reckoning.
Ask yourself, what parts of my life feel heavy? What feels like a chore, a burden, a drain on my energy? And then, on the flip side, what feels light? What brings me genuine joy, even a tiny spark of aliveness when I think about it or do it? Start small. It could be a hobby you abandoned, a quiet moment in nature, a type of conversation. It's about rediscovering those small ignitions.
and give yourself radical permission to question paths you didn't consciously choose, the career path your parents nudged you into, the relationship you fell into rather than actively chose, the beliefs you inherited rather than examined. It's okay to revisit those foundations and ask if they still serve the person you are becoming, not just the person you were told to be.
You're not behind, you're not broken, and this isn't a race you're failing at. This is a journey, and you've simply reached a new crossroads. It means you're ready for the next stage of your evolution, your growth, your self-discovery.
You're just waking up to a truer version of yourself, to a life that's more aligned, more authentic, more fulfilling than the one you were handed. And that, my friends, is a beautiful, powerful place to be, even if it feels a little disorienting at first.
To everyone listening out there, thank you so much for joining us on the Life Signal podcast today. This is a topic that hits deep, and we're so grateful you allowed us to share this space with you.
Thank you for allowing us to have this conversation with you. Truly, you're not alone in feeling lost, even after doing everything right. Your feelings are valid, and they are important signals. Embrace them.
If this episode spoke to you, take it as a profound reminder. It's more than okay to pause, reflect, and consciously choose again, to pivot, to redefine what right means for you. It's never too late to begin living a life that truly resonates with your soul.
We're grateful you're here with us on this journey, and we truly hope this conversation has offered a glimmer of understanding or comfort.
And we'd love for you to come back for our next exciting episodes as we continue to explore the depths of life and human experience. There's always more to uncover together.
This is Life Signal Podcast, where real conversations meet real life. Remember to listen to your signals. See you next time, everyone.